Here we have our mother plant, Ayahuasca, the mother of all healing plants of the Amazon. The beautiful thing about Ayahuasca is that it heals us on multiple levels. It heals the body, cleanses the blood, the liver, and the gallbladder. It cleans out the emotional field by allowing us to process our old traumas and liberate ourselves from these things. And it also brings our energy into the third eye and the crown chakra and allows us to experience the celestial realm. And so this also has an opening effect for the other medicinal plants. And when you take ayahuasca, you'll be more receptive to the other plants. That's why when we're healing somebody of cancer, or we're healing somebody of chronic disease, we'll first give them ayahuasca, even if it's at a very small dosage, so we can have that spirit present, so that will open the doors for the other plants to come in and have a more vital impact and a more direct impact on whatever we're working on. It also opens up people's spirit so that they're willing to accept healing, because many people have a vested interest in being sick or weak. There's nothing more frightful than being completely well, because then you have to take responsibility for the world around you. And so the ayahuasca not only gives you the ability to heal your body and gives you the vision of what you're destined to do here on the planet, but it also gives you the power to realize that vision. And that's why we use ayahuasca for all sorts of healing situations and for all sorts of teaching situations. There's no system to ayahuasca. Ayahuasca is very anarchistic, but everybody brings their own baggage in with them. There's no doubt about that. And people come in with the idea that perhaps they can be a vital part of the entire community in spite of the fact they don't speak the language. They can also be a very useful element in a healing center that's already professional and full of very well-trained people. And they come in here thinking that they can be 100% healed of the problem within about 2 or 3 weeks. And they have to realize that the problem has developed over 40 years, and it might take at least 40 days and 40 nights to take care of it. And so, yeah, there's obviously people that come in here with a lot of illusions, but that's nothing new. People are full of illusions, you know. And people come to psychologists and medical doctors and priests and pastors with the same sorts of illusions. They come to us, we present them with the real solutions, and we tell them how long it's going to take care of their problems or readjust whatever they've come in to balance out. And hopefully, if they're not capable of receiving it and accomplishing that now, it will at least have planted some seeds so that at some point in their life when it gets more drastic, they're capable of coming back and doing it. So we always want to be compassionate, gracious to everybody who comes to us, realizing that we're all basically in the same boat, living on the same planet and dealing with the same problems. But the thing is, this is a very drastic plant, and it's going to show you what happens inside your mind, inside your body, inside your genetic code, and what's coming in the future as well. So this is a very strong plant, and it's a no-nonsense plant. Yeah, this is a plant that really means business, and so anybody who wants to bring this plant into their life, they have to be willing to make some serious changes. There's a number of dimensions to the ayahuasca, and one of them that you have to realize is it's not only the taking of the substance, but also the shamanic work, the ritual, and you know, the setting, and the state of mind that one is in. And a real therapist or a real practitioner knows how to arrange that so that everything works out. You need to call in the spirit. Any good shaman that's running the ceremony is in charge of whatever's happening. You know, they're not a leaf in the wind. You know, because it's so powerful and because it has immense capacity, it also has that unpredictability in it. You know, but it's only unpredictable at first glance. After a while, you find that it has a spirit, it has a certain thing that you can confide in and that you can work with. There's an immense intelligence. It's like having the best doctor, the best priest, and the best psychologist at your beck and call right at that moment, and that's capable of showing you all these things and adjusting them, you know, in a way that you never imagined was possible. So yeah, you have to realize the intelligence in the plant world, particularly in these plants that are teaching plants that are put here on the planet to help us with our own evolution and our healing. And so, yeah, this is definitely one of those plants, and it has to be approached and treated with a lot of respect. That's why we pay a lot of attention here of giving people good food, keeping them comfortable, allowing them to go through a process of healing and learning, at the same time staying in a good state of equilibrium. Here in the Amazon, we have a lot of things to our advantage. We have the clean air, we have the wild animals and the wild plants, we have the real shamans that live here, not the ones that are up north doing work in the civilized world. That's not to say there aren't good shamans working all over the world, there certainly are, but all of these power plants are regional. They're jealous of the area. They work much better in their home. And so if you're going to do normal ayahuasca ceremonies, you can do them all over the world, but if you're going to do miraculous ayahuasca ceremonies, come down to the Amazon. So a lot of the Indians will say, when we came to this planet, our masters or our fathers told us that we should take this plant with us, and as soon as we landed we should plant it, and we should propagate this, because this is going to be our telephone for calling our homeland. And so it's basically a conduit for getting back to paradise, or wherever their origins are. There's another legend that I like even more. It's about a Shipibo tribe that was living in the jungle, and that they had basically complete dependence on one old Indian shaman that was about 120 years old, and he used to heal all of their diseases. And they came to him and said, what are we going to do after you die? And he said, I'm going to die very soon, but don't worry, because this is the thing. As soon as I die, don't bother burying me in the ground. Tie my body onto a branch, and out of my body is going to grow the vine that is going to teach you how to be your own prophet, priest, and healer. And when my wife dies, the woman who's been with me throughout my entire life, plant her body at the base of the tree, and out of her body is going to grow the complementary plant, the chacruna plant. And if you cook our two bodies together, you will come up with a brew that's going to make you into a healer, and it's going to adjust all of your problems. So all of this, of course, is couched in symbol, metaphor, and in a number of different explanations. That's the way it is with oral history, and that's the way all of this herbal information has come up to us. But underneath, there's a very strong understanding of that people depend on their ancestors, they depend on their past, they also depend on the natural world, and also they depend on the spirit world. And so all of those things come in and show the values of the culture, and they also show the understanding of how this magic can happen. This is the complementary plant to the ayahuasca. You'll find that a lot of the shaman songs, a lot of the caros, are dedicated toward the chacruna, because this is what brings the colors into the vision. This is what brings the brilliant colors into the ayahuasca trance. And so this plant is incredibly potent. It's very humble when you look at it, but if you touch it and if you feel it, you'll see that it's very charged with energy. The ayahuasca and the chacruna together is what bring the visionary effect. It brings the bright colored visions, and it also brings the catharsis and the healing. We use in our brew here at Refugio Altiplano only chacruna with ayahuasca. Many other shamans will include other plants such as taway, datura, angel's trumpet, tobacco, other things, even coca. But we use only pure brew of ayahuasca with chacruna, because we found that this has the most effective range. And also, every time you want to get a little bit deeper or a little bit higher, it's just a question of taking a little more ayahuasca with chacruna. And it works like a charm. And it has no side effects that are detrimental whatsoever. Ayahuasca with chacruna, this particular plant, is a very sacred combination. And that's what I swear by, and that's what I work with. And that has given optimal results for us here for a long time.